season, it doesn't matter, right? They come back to the same place. And 4, if a number of these troops come together, it's called a Congress of Baboons, appropriately named. During the Victorian era, the English really liked to do naming. The Oxford English Dictionary was being prepared, and they really like to have new names. And so we ended up with things like a gaggle of geese, a herd of deer, and now one of the other ones was a Congress of Baboons. Maybe they were jealous of our representatives. At any rate, this is a very tight social organization. The males are absolutely ruthless in keeping in. Males fight over females. If a male gets wounded, gets hurt somehow, or becomes unhealthy, another male, may have no females or 1 or 2 females, they attack that male and destroy his other baboon's harem by one act, and that is to simply run in and melt one of the females. And if he's successful in doing that, and the other male can't scare him off, the male loses the harem, and the new male takes over. We think it's partially genetic, because if we mate baboons from the desert with baboons from grasslands, and have the females distributed, the offspring, female offspring distributed into 2 groups. Some of the females that end up in the grassland group get frustrated because the males aren't hurting them sufficiently, aren't fighting them when necessary. And on the other hand, some of the females that end up in the desert group by this experiment are totally confused when the male starts biting them, when they wander off to communicate with other females. So there may be some genetic component, but we're not quite sure.
So in what situations do they form a Congress?
Very few, very few. But as a matter of fact, this may be an English theoretical group. The troops don't like each other very much. I would imagine they would only come together at water holes that they might share, number 1. Or number 2, if the ecological situation became totally desperate, drought, resources are totally dried up. Very few situations where they come together. They stay in the group as a troop. And the group down there. In that desert situation. Gorillas also have a pretty tight ship. The alpha male is the only one who's allowed sexual access to the females, and he doesn't seem to have a whole lot of interest in females. So the females very often have to talk him into reproduction. Gorilla reproduction is very slow, agonizing, not too many babies are born, and that's one of the problems with keeping gorillas alive. They just don't have an interest in reproduction, like they ought to, like chimpanzees. Chimpanzees have great interest. Chimpanzees have a very loose structure. The ones that were studied by Jane Goodall were in large groups, Gombe chimpanzees, with groups of up to 100 or so, very large. They form sometimes all male groups and all female groups. They do share food. Now, if one of them finds a tree that has a lot of food in it, that one will hoot and yell and attract others, and so they have a kind of a party. One other thing that Goodall found was the night of a full moon, or also may those 1 or 2 days, the chimpanzees will sometimes stay up all night, beat on logs and kind of dance around and just sort of have a party. Don't know why. It's not every Saturday, it's every 20, 27 days. Don't know what that's about. Chimpanzees have been studied a great deal because they are our closest relatives. We found a couple things about them. First of all, males and females have different sources of protein. The females will create a stick, essentially make a tool, stick it down, termite hole. The termites get very angry, they jump on the stick. Females pull the stick out and lick the termites off the stick and eat them. That is the source of some protein for females. Males will occasionally hunt. They will hunt the young of gazelles. They will hunt young monkeys, and they will kill them and they will eat them. And these are all male groups. They will share with females only if the females allow them sexual access. That's the only condition under which they will share the food. So females can get some food that way, some protein that way. Humans. We are an extremely diverse species. We have a lot of different situations, but there are sort of rules to how the whole thing works. Let's boom, boom, boom. Do we have an narration? We do. Olay. Okay, the basic family is female plus young. This is not the normal situation. In humans, there's usually a male attached. Plus female plus young. Now, it may be one female, in which case we have monogamy, and this is the most common. 100% of human societies accept monogamy. We also may have polygamy. Now in Utah, that just means one thing, but it's really two different things. One of them is polygyny. And that is one male plus two or more females. About 85% of cultures accept that. Now, it may not be in terms of actual marriage. Of course, marriage is an extremely variable institution from culture to culture. So that is, but it's not common in any culture. For instance, in Utah, we are famous here for having polygyny, or polygamy as we call it. Well, everybody in the early Utah had extra wives, right? It was only about 2% of the males that had extra wives. It was a mechanism, in part, to make sure that each female had a male attached. A returned missionary was explaining the whole thing to me once, and that especially on the trek westward, if a woman wasn't attached to a man, she was attached to a man, so that she would have someone to travel with and someone to protect her on the trek westward. And so that's how, so that worked out. Apparently women were more attracted to the church than men were at that time, and so that's how that institution developed. There are a lot of good, interesting family stories about that. We'll skip those. And then there's polyandry. And that is one female with two or more males. And that's found in about 1 to 2% of societies. Does that tell you something about how social organization works in human societies?